Are you into true crime at all?
A little bit. I actually have my friends Vinny and Carl do a true crime podcast called The Creep Off, and it's a great show. It's the first ever true crime podcast that's designed for men.
I got a reason to speak what's on my mind. You know I've always loved you all this time, but you gotta understand the seasons of our lives. We haven't always seen things eye to eye. You know we can't go on living on our own. So say goodbye to yesterday. If your heart is with me, then it's better you stay. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. We need a reason to go on. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. I got a feeling, you know what's on my mind. You know I never left it undefined. Think you understand that we cannot rewind. Our future could be redesigned. You know we can't go on living on our own. So say goodbye to yesterday. If your heart is with me, then it's better you stay. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. We need a reason to go on. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. We need a reason to go on. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on.
But yeah, it was a blast again. I wish everyone was there. Quadfather, I wish you were there. Come next year.
Was it a Blatcast blast?
No, I said it was fun, not a boring 1 hour show
Oh.
on Who Are These Podcasts once a week with Eric Zane.
What time? Do we
I don't know.
Oh.
2? 10? Who cares? Nobody's watching that. Nobody's watching it on Who Are These Podcasts.
You're listening. Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATB with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time. Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? We're very excited. A little later in the show, we're going to announce our WATB meme coin. We've learned a lot from the Hawk Tuah Girl, Haley Welch. We'll see what she has to say about meme coins in a little bit, but that's not going to deter us, is it, Easy? We want to get on this. We want to get on this crazy train, this easy train, this just gravy train of money.
Without a doubt. And I'm glad that you came up with this brilliant idea. People are willing. I mean, if they're willing to part ways with their money to support this show, they'll be willing to jump on board with this, Christian Black.
I'm glad that you mentioned giving money because usually we might banter about something first. You might as well tell people how super chats work on this show.
Without a doubt, it's fantastic. You think of something ridiculous for Christian to say, maybe about various races of people, nationalities, religions, people in the in the Dabbleverse, perhaps, maybe his loved ones or Asians in general. Oh my God! And you attach a dollar amount to it. The one with the highest dollar amount is how he will sign off for this show. So go big or go home. I would suggest starting at least $20 because somebody might beat you. Probably not. In fact,
but there's a chance that somebody will come in with $20.01.
So that's basically it. There's nothing real flashy about it. It's kind of shitty, actually.
No, but we appreciate anybody who decides to give us money and give early, give often, and we have some feedback to what we showed during the countdown. Catherine says, wow, Potato funny for once. I'm a huge fan of the Potato. I think he's often funny. Well, let's put it this way, more often than not. And Dwyer Christian pointed out it's WATB, not WATP, but McDoe standing up for us. Cardiff Shell is fucking boring. This show is way better. Fucking OJ better than Zayn? In your fucking dreams, suck my dick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
that's some passion there. That is some serious passion.
Yes, absolutely. So we appreciate that. I'm fans of Cardiff, OJ, Bedabbler, all of them, but we appreciate people who stand up for us. Easy, before we got started, we did talk for a moment about a clip that we can't show because NBC has struck us in the past, and SNL clips is the one thing that you definitely can't squeak by. And we were talking about how it was the end of the season and they did the one consistent bit that even people who don't watch the show see these on Twitter when Michael Che and Colin Jost write jokes for each other that they've never seen before. And one really stood out for you, right?
Right. He said, Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors, is here with his son, Nick. I love Steve Kerr. I like Nick, which means I am not a Nick Kerr lover.
Which is amazing.
Che's losing it. Jost's wife, which is that hot chick, Scarlett Johansson, she's trying to remain stoic. It was ridiculous. It was so great. And the first thing I thought was, his son's name is Nick. That asshole named his son Nick. It's Nick Kerr.
Well, we did remember we had somebody who was like a high school player whose last name it sounded like that. And I forget what his name. Nicholas.
It was Noah Kanega.
Noah Kanega. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Everybody needs to Noah Ninja, as it were. Oh my gosh, we have fun with the English language on this show, don't we?
Shit. Oh yeah. In fact, Kanega starting his first year of football for Eastern Michigan coming up in the fall. So that's not far from here. That's probably like 80 miles from where I'm at right now.
Whatever you have to do, I'd love to hear you on the call for just one of those games, little like local close.
Yeah, I can volunteer to be the PA guy. I mean, that's not that far-fetched of a thing. I'll just throw my hat in the ring. Hey, if you need a backup, I can be there in 80 minutes. God damn it. I want to shout out Noah Kanega.
I might fly out if I get to sit next to you and say Noah Kanega. We've already gotten $5. Thanks for the $5, David Brailsford. I am sorry I can't be here today. You are in my prayers. I will watch the show later. Like, subscribe, join, and super chat, you cheap folks. I think he misspelled cheap fucks.
Right.
We appreciate that. David, thank you. Right now, you are the front runner. I bet that everybody in our chat right now, Easy, they're too scared.
Well,
They're
yeah.
to try and give us more than $5. No one's brave enough to step up to the plate and give us, I don't know, $7.50.
Well, yeah. Plus, they have to think of things to say to have you sign off. So there's that too. And by the way, we are getting a comment. Hey, what's up with Christian Blatt? Is his mic? Is he using his computer mic? No, that's not. It's not it at all. He is on location right now at not his usual place. So the room acoustics are a little bit different. So they might be able to tell, but it sounds fine. It's because you're definitely in a different room.
No, they were right. I was using the computer mic.
No.
I'm in a different house entirely. And
I was giving you benefit of the doubt.
And I had checked it before, but there was that moment where you couldn't hear me, and that's probably what I probably sound much better now, don't I?
You do, yeah.
All right. You son of a bitch. You knew I sounded shitty, but you're like, I'm only going to sound better. So I'm just going to let him sound like that.
Well, yeah, I wasn't sure because it wasn't terrible at all.
Who,
it sounded different.
Who gave us credit for that? So please let us know. And by the way, Mike Grisman reminds me that we should be promoting that you can begin pre-ordering tickets for Hackamania 3 starring who are these broadcasters, and make sure that you use a promo code BEARS. And thank you. It was Dwyer Christian. Of course it was Dwyer Christian. He's always got our back, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's fantastic. I love him.
Yeah. By the way, Mick, I wasn't here for last week's show, and you guys kind of sucked. I'm here to make it better again. Thank you.
Okay.
We noticed the show was a little lacking last week, and we've got some big, nice long segments. And Dwyer Christian is pointing out that I'm Christian Blatt, and every mic is a dead mic. Yeah. There are people who are very critical of this mic that I use. I'm not gonna own up to knowing who it is, but I've seen some comments. And, podcasting used to be about what sounds good. But now when you have eye candy like me and EZ, they want us to look good too.
Exactly. Like what Principled Uncertainty says. Jesus, Christian looks 10 years younger. Someone's getting his balls cleaned.
Well, Principled Uncertainty, I don't like to tell tales out of school, but you're absolutely right. And if I was at home, I would hit the bell. I did not head to another location with my stupid bell. But in any case, there is an important comment that Mick made earlier. And I ask this every time. Is it McDo or McDo? I think it's McDo, but Mick, correct me. I promise I'll try and remember at one point. I don't know how many people noticed. Probably all of you. We had such a jam-packed show, and in all honesty, I had to get done for something else. So we had no Bears last week. There were 0 Bears on last week's show, Easy.
Yeah, and people noticed. I'm sure we broke some hearts with that. So,
well, we're gonna make up for it.
Okay.
WATV, who are these bears? Who are these bears?
What I should do is I should say I won't play any bear clips until we get $100, but then I'll never play any bear clips. So I think it's better to just give you the bears up front. That's what people want. This one comes from an unexpected source. Our great friend, Robo Shitstain, MK 5000, 9000. And usually when he posts things in our Discord, and by the way, the Who Are These Podcasts Discord is free. Just go to whoarethese.com for the link. And Who Are These Broadcasters does indeed have our own section over there. And that's where this was posted. And usually it's very cynical, trying to take down the oligarchy, or maybe he loves the oligarchy. I forget where you're at right now, Robo Shitstain. But I think our Bear fans are going to love this one. It's largely visual, so we'll do our best. Yep. You rub his tummy. And yes, it's a bear sneezing. It's the simple things, Easy. That's what that sound was. This would have been a good one for the game that Carl and Blind Mike play on Who Are These Socials to see if Mike would have been able to guess what that sound was. You don't seem so impressed by the sneezing bear, but I love that Robo Shitstain shared it with us. It was important to him. Okay, now I don't hear Eric Zane. Is that on me or is that on?
Oh! Sorry about that.
Okay.
I was wondering why you said that because I did react. I reacted. Okay. I was like, "Oh my god, I love this bear!" But my mic was. You and I are just really struggling.
We're batting 175.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. No, I love that bear. That bear is fantastic, and he's such a fat ass too. Literally no taper in his belly. He's so fucking fat.
Yeah. And this is what we all want to be able to do. We want to go up to those bears and be like, yeah, we could probably rub their belly. They might tear your arm off, but this one's kind of small.
I don't believe that. I don't want to live in a world where they're actually mean. They're too fucking great.
Did you see that Grizzly Man documentary?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
But let's not dwell in that world because sometimes you can just have a nice setup outside for you and maybe the missus to relax. And even the bears are going to go, hey, I want to get in on that.
This bear walked over my coffee. It's about to jump down. Oh, my gosh. Okay.
All right. I forgot.
This bear walked over my coffee. It's about to jump down. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
I don't think
no, I didn't speak to it. It's a black bear. They're bad bears.
Okay, now that's an important point. I need to pause it right there.
Yeah,
he said that's a black bear. They're bad bears.
Yeah, that's a horrible racist comment.
Yeah, look, United Colors of Benetton Bears. Okay, we're all one bear family. Let's not talk like that again.
They can be mean. It just knocked my jacuzzi top over.
Yep. So he took the
jacuzzi top. Hill?
Damn it, Bobby!
And now it just got in my jacuzzi. Okay, No, it did not. Yes, it's getting warm.
So I do love this video, but it's for these two idiots. And you're right.
This is How is such a stupid person in such a fantastic location? That's got to be a rental that he
that's an Airbnb. Yeah. This is definitely Hank and Peggy Hill. You're absolutely right.
It's just having a blast. It is in the jacuzzi. Okay.
I mean, he's like climbing
I'm glad
in.
I wasn't.
Not really
I'm glad I wasn't in the jacuzzi. It's in the jacuzzi.
This guy thinks
there's a black bear, a wild black bear in the jacuzzi.
Call him Cardiff.
So we'll let this roll a little bit. What do you do if a bear gets into your outdoor jacuzzi? Easy. How do you handle this?
For God's sake, you call the KKK.
Well, because it's a black bear. Is that the Grand Knights of the Kiwanis Club? Is that it's a specific offshoot.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I would probably move, and if I was able to leave and come back, and Mick is not wrong. Cardiff is fatter.
It definitely is Mick Dew, by the way. DEW.
Okay, thank you, Mick Dew. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Ape Shit Media says you throw a toaster in.
Oh. Wow. Think about the bear meat that you would have for weeks. Easy.
Yeah. Is that do people eat bear? Do they have bear steaks?
I should my buddy Shane always watches this on delay. He lives up in Alaska. He would know. I feel like you can definitely eat bear.
Oh yeah. I think that's a good thing. Hey, let's go out and get some bear steaks.
All right. Well, we're definitely going a little bit cutesy this week. So here's a bear right at the top. It's a nice snow-swept outdoor afternoon, and he is sliding down the slide because he doesn't trust it. Oh yeah, they're not speaking. They're speaking French, so who cares what they're saying? I wanted him to sit down on that fat bear ass and just ride it. But instead he's like, this is like the nerd bear who's like, okay, safety first. Let me walk down and only take my time and see what it is that's going on there. Yeah.
What is the point? Why would that bear do that?
Because it's fun. I think that's probably why. Easy, you're going to have to tell me. I may have shown this one before, the bus that stopped with some in front of some bears. And I think that I feel like I might have shown this because I remember.
I don't think you did.
Okay. I had made a note I needed to mute the music because I don't know what that piece of music is because I don't know classical music. But they're in a bus, and these bears are like, hey, somebody's got to have some food. We can smell something. And I like that they're actually like pushing the bus.
Yeah, god damn, that is fucking great.
Yeah.
And they're in the water, the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is just some top shelf bear fun. So remember, pre-order your tickets to Hackamania 3, promo code Bears. Carl seems to be under the impression that we're going to have to perform out on Fremont Street outside the venue.
Oh, okay.
Little where the buskers are. We'll have the hat up. We'll be taking the super chats the old-fashioned way, cash money. So.
Hey, so while I don't know if you saw it, but that door opened a second ago.
Yeah.
And that was my brother-in-law.
Oh my gosh.
And, I'll be back in like 90 seconds.
Sure, no problem. We appreciate that because there's nothing I like better than taking over the reins. And I was telling EZ, I'm at my sister-in-law's house because there's roof work at my house. And what I didn't realize until we went live is how terrible the lighting is in here. I thought that I had fixed it. I thought that I was a pro, but I also thought that my microphone was on when we started. But none of those things are actually true. And I can show you, this is how the lighting was in this room. So, not great is my point. All right. So this is what I've got to work with. Maybe if I'm here again next week, I will bring a lamp. I'm going to do myself a favor and look for the super chats, but oh my gosh, there aren't any. But that's all right. Let's see. And Yen Zen says this is Bush League. No, Adam Bush isn't on this show, but thank you. We appreciate it. And we appreciate all of that. And yes, my sister-in-law does indeed live in Walter Cronkite's news studio from back in the day. Well, we've got some fun stuff coming up in a little bit. If you see the thumbnail, if you see the description of the episode, we're going to see Matan Even visiting with the great Matt Gaetz, made for some good content. And the Hawk Tuah Girl spoke earlier today. So we'll get all that stuff. But for right now, let's head over to some local news.
WATB, who are these local news? Who are these local newscasters?
I'm not going to start with the one I wanted to because I really want EZ to see it. We spend a lot of time taking a look at clips from the Fox Philadelphia morning show. And I haven't taken the time to learn the names of any of the personalities on this show. But they were discovering a really important conversation, a really important issue just recently.
Never heard of a butt crack piercing until Cardi B told me about it.
So who here in the chat was aware that a butt crack could be pierced? And I suppose I should make sure that I can see your comments. Chad's missing upper lip does have a great question. Is Zane having his boyfriend check his prostate? No, he's having his brother-in-law check his prostate. Aren't you paying attention? All right. So one can get their butt crack pierced. So let's hear this conversation.
Until Cardi B told me about it.
I have a $13,000 Maria Tosh piercing in my butt crack. Guess what? I lost it.
She went out later on to say that she doesn't think that she lost it showering.
So two things. Mike Jarrell is that guy's name. That guy's great. He's very funny. If you remember, we showed him. He was doing the morning news in New Orleans before the Super Bowl, and he was with some girls and pretended like he'd been staying out all night. Pretended. He probably really did stay out all night. So I appreciate that. So they continue the conversation on butt crack piercing.
Oh. That it may have fallen out at some other point in her life. Where exactly does it go in the crack? No, I'm kind of being serious.
Too high traffic an area, like you're always sitting on it.
Let's say this is the butt.
Is this a diagram?
Would you put the piercing right at the top? Or does it go down here, or is it in one of your cheeks?
Or in the middle?
I think it's right here at the top of the crack. But where in the valley do you put it?
So, Eric, we're talking about something really important here. And we did learn his name is apparently it's Mike Jarek is this guy's name. We're getting a few different people telling me. I liked not knowing his name because he's just a hero to me. He's talking about a butt crack piercing, and Cardi B lost her butt crack piercing. So he's trying to figure out where it goes. So that's why he's drawing this diagram. And before we get back to the clip, I think Chad's missing upper lip does make a point that a lot of people in the chat are thinking about. Zane's butthole is a high traffic area. He did ask if you ducked out for a moment to get your prostate checked by your boyfriend. And I said, no, he got his prostate checked by his brother-in-law. Weren't you listening?
Yes. That is fantastic. Yes to everything. Yes to everything.
Chris Tuttle says it goes just over the cleftal horizon. And this other female anchor, who I don't see as often, I know the other girl who's on our left.
Well, maybe you should DM her and ask her.
Did you say high traffic area?
Like you're always sitting on it. Like you're always sitting on it.
Yeah. So it's a high traffic area. Zane, should we get our should we start a Patreon and have there be a tier that if we reach it, we'll get our butt cracks pierced? This seems like a good idea, right?
Boy, that would, I mean, I'd do it for $5. I mean, why not? I mean, I'll do anything for money.
Right. I think we both will. Well, I was waiting for you to come back because I wanted you to see a woman who, do they have quinceañeras in Michigan? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
It's in the Latino culture.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a Sweet 16, but you're more likely to see Matt Gaetz lurking outside of one, allegedly.
Yeah, I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, so
we've got lots of Mexicans here.
Right? No, I mean, who's doing the yard work? Am I right or am I right? All right, but anyway, so this woman had been waiting for since she was 18 to throw a quinceañera for her cat. So here comes the cat out in a little car, and it's muted because of the music that's used for this first part, but we'll start to get to hear from them. So it does say, dressed in a gold gown and crown, Holly made a grand entrance in a remote controlled Bentley. There's a lot of things you could point to and make this statement, but this is why the terrorists hate us, right? It's not our freedom. It's that we do shit like this, right?
Well, I mean, typically these quinceañeras are, they're like expensive things, and judging by this house here, this is probably 5 years worth of picking to pay for this goddamn.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why you put that comment on the screen. I don't even understand. I don't even think I get that one.
Get either Sweet 16 for Mexicans because they can't count.
Yeah, I don't even understand that. Chad's missing upper lip. You're usually spot on, but I don't think I follow that one. All right, let's hear more about this cat quinceañera, which, I mean, at least call it a catcinera or something. I don't know. I'm just, that's the first idea off my head. Something. All right, so let's see when we start hearing. Okay. Happy birthday! Now they're singing to the cat. And it does include the traditional father-daughter dance with the cat. By the way, father-daughter dances are usually pretty creepy, in general.
That the next thing is father-daughter sex with the cat.
With the cat. Let's see if we get there. By the way, I don't know why you felt like this was a discount event. Look, those are the finest folding chairs that I think we might.
This is the going to El Salvador going away party is what this is.
Yeah. So Gonzalez, this is the woman. And look, I'm not going to lie. I've done worse. All right. And she seems normal enough. So she's 32. She'd been planning this party since she adopted Holly on her 18th birthday. And look, I think there's a lot of things that I was thinking that I'd like to try and do when I was 18. But at a certain point, you kind of outgrow these things. But look how happy she is. Because look, the dude behind her with like the derby hat and the bowling shirt and the hipster beard, he's not giving her what she needs. what she needs is a goddamn party for her cat, right?
McDo writes, isn't it when the Mexican family celebrates the birth of the 16-year-old daughter's 5th child? No.
We're getting a lot of comments that I don't think I understand today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dr. Scotty Jones does point out that the cat is too old. Well, let's finish up the festivities. So instead of gifts, Gonzalez asked guests to donate to a local pet adoption service.
I hate those things.
Yeah. If I'm the cat, I'm like, some catnip or something. Our friend Raging Rhino checking in from Texas. I'm going to assume I know him very well. He's not going to say anything offensive. Quinceañeras, our family's throwing overblown parties for their sweet teenage princess who's already sucked off half of her high school. You really led me astray there, Raging Rhino. I thought that you were going to keep me on the straight and narrow, but it was really funny. I don't even get that one, so I won't read
it. Beansiniera.
I don't even... I'm just not getting these at all. Yeah. So let's let this finish up.
My sister just had her baby, and she ended up having it.
Oh yeah. And so then you get a kiss from a little kid. And so have you ever seen a cat quinceanera before, Eric?
No. This is the first. That's why everybody finds it adorable and it's so great. But it's just dumb. This is anybody that wastes any amount of time for something like that. I mean, come on now. These aren't productive people.
No, definitely not. We've got one more, mostly visual, but this is a fun one. This is in China, and that should inspire some super chats for me to sign off with. So the fire department. Firefighters in China are called in over. There's cries for help that are happening in this apartment building. All right. That's right. They have
careless whisper.
Yeah, they have careless whisper, and I was like, there's a reason I'm supposed to mute this. Oh yeah, that's it. So neighbors from a floor above the apartment in China became concerned after hearing this woman's repeated screams. So the fire brigade shows up, and the door isn't opening. By the way, look at the security system here in an apartment in China. There's a screen hanging over a wooden door. And they're like, all right, well, we're going to kick on this. We're going to kick this in. Firefighter attempted to pry the door open with a crowbar because there was no response from inside where it sounded like a woman was being hurt. And so they're like, all right, well, look, we got to get in here. Unfortunately, in an unexpected turn of events, a confused couple opened the door, making the neighbors realize that they were just having an intimate moment.
Okay.
And so what this guy comes out and says is, what have you done? He's like, you busted this open. And, this reminds me of the pictures of Aaron Emholt that we showed at Hackamania, by the way, the ones that should never have been in a group chat.
Right.
This guy is the Chinese Aaron Emholt. I bet our super chats can't come up with any ideas for what the Chinese steel toe would be called. We will not be reading any free chats about that, but super chats. By
the way, it took those firefighters like an hour and a half to find these guys because there's 38,000 people on that floor.
Yes, right. They had to really look in there. But good for this guy that he's, giving it to this girl, and it seems like she's being hurt. Yeah. And thank you, One Pun. Yes, this guy is in way better shape than Aaron. You're absolutely right. And Larry Clark, you know what? It's a famous character from a famous movie. You're thinking of 16 Candles. I'm not quite sure why you're talking about that right now, but you did mention Long Duck Dong. So I appreciate it. And now I just said we're not going to show them unless they super chat. Kip Smith should have had to pay for that. But to be fair, it was pretty funny.
Steer toe.
That was indeed very funny. And Larry Clark feels like she could do better. Are you hollering, Larry? You trying to get this girl's attention? In any case, this is a fun one. And have you ever had the authorities show up because you're giving a woman so much pleasure that they're worried for her safety? Is that ever, back in the old days when you did
back in
work.
the old days when when I had libido. No, I've always, that's one thing. I've got a great marriage, but just completely defunct when it comes to nastiness. There is no nastiness.
So when you would finish back in the day, would your wife just pat you on the head, reach into the nightstand, head into the bathroom, and say, "I'll be back in a few minutes"?
Yeah, she says, no, she would say, "Ew."
Kip Smith, I appreciate it. I'm glad I bullied you into $2. So thank you. Another win. Oh no, I can't read that one. Another win for the steer toe.
It's another win for the steeratoll. That's how you got to say that, Hamilton Burger.
Yeah, there was the part where I said I can't read that, so that was, for $20 I would have had to read that, but we appreciate that from Hamilton Burger, our friend. We're gonna head over to talk shows right now. And Easy, I have to ask, are you familiar with Matan Even? Do you know who he is?
No.
Okay. I was on an episode of the All Apologies podcast with Trucker Andy and his brother Joe Sixpack, who's the more handsome one, by the way, Joe Sixpack. Apologies. Apologies to Andy, but I think everybody's saying it. And we talked about how George Santos was on Matan Even's show. Well, we have a follow-up, and that was one of the clip packages that we presented at Hackamania. And by we, I mean Trucker Andy and Carl. And so let's head over to talk shows, and we're going to talk a little bit about Matan Even.
WATB, who are these talk shows? Who are these talk shows?
So he is, he's a guy who we're going to just assume is like in his early 20s. And he plays this kind of outlandish character who's a foreigner of some kind. We don't know. But did you ever see the Zach Galifianakis Between Two Ferns?
I did.
Yeah. So it's a very similar idea to that, where you're asking people. And a lot of times it's kind of shocking. In the case of George Santos, I was very surprised that he was there. So what I will say about Matt Gaetz, we make fun of Matt Gaetz on this show. We haven't in a little while because he's retired from public life, and he has a show on Newsmax, I believe. So that's retiring from public life. Either that or co-hosting Who Are These Broadcasters? One of those is retiring from public life. So in any event, I wanted to share some of these. The first batch of clips kind of play off on the one joke. And the point I was about to make a moment ago, though, was that I want to give credit to Matt Gaetz for even going on this show. I guess he'd had Matan on his show. So he shows up at the studio, and what he finds is curious.
You can come sit in the middle now, please.
Thank you.
Okay, so he takes the
oh my
blanket off.
All right. Where do you pick these up in Hollywood?
For today's co-host, we have Mike. Please welcome in Mike.
Okay, so Matt Gaetz sits down, and what do you want to describe that was unique about the chair that he sat in, and why it might have been covered, Easy?
Yeah, so you see him pull the cover, and below the folding chair is a shirtless male. We don't know if it's a little boy or what, but it's a shirtless male that is on the floor looking up at like the underside of his legs. And if he were to move forward, his balls, it's like perfect teabag position for him.
Yes, it is perfect teabag positioning. And I'm not going to lie, I spent a lot of time last night watching this. I didn't even think of that once. You're right. Matt Gaetz is in
I know these things because I teabag men.
You know how happy you just made Chad's missing upper lip when you said that. He's like, yeah, we all know. So I'm going to play the next few clips kind of in rapid succession because it all refers back to the fact that there is a shirtless man under his chair there. I think Matt Gaetz doesn't think it's a real person, or he's really good at playing the game here. Let's see.
This guy down here, he's not here.
Oh, dude, that's so weird how the eyes move. How do you? That's, yeah. You're an odd bird. What's with the co-host?
That's Mike.
How would you describe his co-host Mike for our audio audience?
Motionless with a ski mask over his head, sunglasses over the eyes.
Yeah.
It's just seated there. This is fantastic.
Matan is great, and there's been some conversations in the WATP verse about sharing clips from shows we actually like. And what Matan does is great. The fact that he's got a notable figure like Matt Gaetz, this is all a little bit of the foreplay before we get to why this appearance was so great. What were you going to say, Easy?
I was just going to say, this is the first thing Matt Gaetz has done that I think is likable. If he has had sex with children, I would say it's a wash now, because he is on this show, and that shows like a spirit, a sense of humor, and everything that I did not like about him. It's gone. It's gone because this is funny. So I applaud Matt Gaetz, and I think this is wonderful.
So he's going to ask about Matan's co-host.
Why is Mike? Does Mike have COVID?
No, that's just religious reasons.
Is Mike a Muslim?
He might be. He hasn't said anything when I asked him.
Fine. You know what? We accept all kinds.
Oh yeah. So
He's not
then
gonna
we
do
zoom
anything
in.
weird, is he?
I don't
the same
believe so.
sunglasses.
Same ones?
Yeah.
So we
I
see
don't
the
think
guy-
he'll try and do anything weird.
Okay.
He'll just.
Yeah. So he's not going to try anything weird, which is
Gaetz
what I love.
Really interested in that guy.
Yeah. He's.
Yes,
I mean, the whole thing. Like, you have to really be a good sport to even sit down.
Yes.
And
it's
George
excellent.
Santos tried to roll with it, but he was not as good a sport as Matt Gaetz. And we continue now.
It's moving. And
What is?
the thing? It's got eyeballs that raise their eyelids.
And
He doesn't believe that, does he? He thinks it's fake, or he's just acting like it's fake.
well, let's see, because I think that this is the moment where he realizes.
Truth of the matter is, oh, dude, what the fuck? Is this really a dude? Is this really? Oh, that's actually not a mannequin.
You thought what was under there
thought
was
that
not real?
I thought that was a mannequin. Oh no, that's actually a person.
So the answer is yes. He did not think it was a real person because, look, I can understand coming from a world where you're like, well, who would put a real person under my chair
Wow.
like that, Easy?
Okay. Well, that is okay. So I'm not sure how he could possibly have thought that was a mannequin. Either he really thought it was a mannequin, or he's an excellent actor, because he sure sold that to me.
He's definitely selling it, and he
They have
continues.
to pay you to do this, bro.
Who are you talking to? Are you going schizophrenic?
Well, I've been accused of worse, but
So I love the fact that early on Matan realizes the thing to do is because he said it even in an earlier clip. Yeah, he's not there,
Right.
And
Yep.
we have one more reference to this before we start to get to the meat.
the sense that we're going back to a meritocracy, we're going to be a productive country.
Well, you gotta I was gonna say make sure that's not on the screen because we're gonna see the guy again.
And we're going to crush it, even for this dude.
Who?
You know.
I just love that idea. He's like, who?
Yeah, he said he's not there.
Yeah. All right. Now, what were you going to show? Because
Chuck Puck says it's okay to be a PDF file if you have a sense of humor.
Now you get look. Chuck Puck gets it. Absolutely, he gets it.
Yes.
I mean, who's funnier from old Hollywood than Fatty Arbuckle? Nobody. That's the quick answer to that. All right. So we know the allegations that Matt Gaetz has faced in his career, and they sort of led to his undoing, but he has a different narrative. But Matan wants to bring this up, and Matan pretends that he is a 17-year-old foreign boy. All indications are is that he's a little older than that, but it's important to this moment right here that he's pretending he's 17.
You said this podcast is at least the second time you've met with a 17-year-old?
Well, probably since I've been 17.
So I'm going to pause it for a second. His reaction, at least to laugh, because he's like, you know what? You did get a good one in there. The response isn't great. I'm not going to lie, but he does at least go like, oh, all right. I see what you did there. Let's see. Easy, you're horrified. I think, I think people.
Well, I still can't. Okay. He has to know that this is what he was going to be doing, right? Gaetz?
He was familiar with Matan's show. He had Matan on his show, so he knows what the shtick is. So he was prepared for that. And let's see how he handles this being at least the second time that you've met with a 17-year-old.
Look, man, I don't.
Or 35. Count it on that.
That's
so he puts out a fist to pump it. Come on, fist bump.
not my. That's not my scene. I was.
Yeah. So he tries to get him to fist bump there, and he's not doing it because the allegations are that he, of course, was 35 and allegedly had a relation with a 17-year-old, but there's no evidence that proves that, as he says time and again. But Matan is kind of the future of journalism, easy, because he tries to really get him on the record with something here.
I'm the only motherfucker up there who didn't take the lobbyist money and the PAC money. Every other Republican up there took money from the lobbyists and took money from the political action committees. And I didn't, and they did, and I was a threat to that system, and so they had to get rid of me.
So that's why they said that happened? That whole thing?
Absolutely.
Well, let's peace bump on that, and then you did it.
I did not do it.
So I do love he does the fist bump on that, and as soon as he touches his knuckles, and that you did it.
It was great timing, outstanding timing.
Perfect. Yeah. And again, Matan Even has all kinds of guests on, but the fact that it's Matt Gaetz actually sitting down and just really going with that. And Hamilton Burger, $2 Canadian to help me learn to read super chats better. I'm sorry, I was really confused by some of those Hamilton Burger. If you resubmit that for like $7, it'll be our high. I'm sorry, I got so confused by this super chat. It'll be our high. Silver hair dude is edgy. Don't you get his douchebag humor? Says Mayor Rizzo. Do you know Mayor Rizzo?
No.
Okay. Oh, at least he called your hair silver and not gray. Matan kind of stays in the weeds on the important allegations against him.
Whoever fucking dated me will not come on your show and talk shit about me. You
Why
know
is
why?
that?
I was nice to all of them. You know what I was accused of? Spending money on chicks I was dating, which I actually think doesn't make me a bad guy. I think that made me a good guy.
Oh, I never said it made you a bad guy. I was just
there are
asking.
other people who do. There are other people who do.
Yeah, I was just.
But by the way, you take the derogatory reference when you want to bring up a Jelaine Maxwell.
Well, I was just asking if you had somebody dealing with it.
Yeah, I never met that person. I don't know anything about that model. You know what the model I know is? When you and all young men out there should see this. When you date someone as a man, buy them dinner. Open the door to their car. Open the door.
Pay them
the
for
restaurant.
sex.
No, listen, man. Not.
Just the timing is so perfect because
Pay them for sex.
He's trying to, Matt Gaetz is trying to make his points, and it's not just the allegations. He does try to get him on the record on some truly controversial points.
Should a crazy animal missing its frontal lobe be allowed to vote?
No.
Then why do we keep allowing women to vote?
Well,
he gets really put on the spot there, but what a great question.
The Constitution demands it.
Yeah, but they're fucking with the Constitution anyways, and that wasn't part of the OG version.
Do you think women have great reverence for the Constitution?
No. I don't think they have
What's your basis for that view?
I don't think they have great reverence for 2 + 4.
And why is that?
They might give you the answer and they might tell you 5. Knowing the answer is 6, but just to say 5 to get you.
Matan's really making some sense here. I don't know about you, EZ, but I like the picture he's painting. What are your thoughts on all that?
I like the bit because we haven't seen an Ali G type bit in a while.
It's been a minute. You're right. Yeah.
So I think that's why but he is pretty shitty. I think he's pretty shitty, but he's still funny.
Oh yeah, no. Look, he's definitely gone for a very specific aesthetic,
right.
And I mean, our audio audience, I don't think we did a great job painting the picture that they're at like folding card tables with a white sheet behind them. It does look like a hostage video. That's why it's so funny that Mike is wearing the mask.
Yeah. I just can't get it. How many millions of people watch the show because the fact that Gaetz is there agreeing to do this.
Yeah. Because look, he gets it a little bit better than I think some of us thought. Once again, Matan tries to get him to take a controversial stance.
How can we help America restore its golden age before the 1860s?
I see what you did there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very clever. I don't know that before the 1860s is what we would consider America's
Why is that
golden
not
was
the golden
time.
Yeah, no, I think you're just trying to be provocative because you're referencing a time before the Civil War when slavery was rolling on. What I would say is
No,
our
I'm
golden
not.
age is,
The war
yeah,
fucked
no,
up the
you're-
economy.
He is definitely going with like a cool guy vibe because he's like, yeah, when slavery was rolling on, and he refers to these guys as like homies during this interview. So Matt Gaetz is, look, he knows how to talk to the young people. That is not something he can deny. He can try, but I think that he's able to really talk to the, he's that meme of Mr. Pink from the Adam Sandler movie, Steve Buscemi, hey, fellow kids, what's going on? So that's basically who he is. The topic of slavery does come up again. I want to make sure to get to that.
slavery. The Chinese have embraced slavery as a production model.
Is that something they're still doing?
Yes.
I'm a little jealous.
No, you're not. You've been critical of it.
He's a little jealous of the Chinese because they still have slavery. So it's a great interview. I hope everybody checks it out. There is one more thing that I want to make sure we get to, because I mentioned that these clips were recently on this network talking about George Santos. And so that former congressman comes up right here in this clip.
I think is more honest between you and the honorable George Santos.
Me, for sure.
Why is that? He's the honorable one.
I think I am too, actually. I think that's technically my title.
I'm just kidding. Guys are both pretty crazy liars.
No, I don't.
No, I'm kidding.
What have I
I'm
lied
kidding.
about? What have I?
So I think it's just great. He's just like, you guys are both pretty crazy liars. He goes for the fist bump. And as we finish, I think that this clip kind of says it all about Matt Gaetz. And Matan even calls him out on it. And he's going to talk about why he doesn't use Instagram anymore.
I've stopped signing in Instagram because the only thing I ever see on the algorithm is like women in bikinis. So there must be something wrong with it. And so like 5 years ago, I got off of Instagram.
I think the recommended is based on what you watch, but I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I think it must have been something wrong. I think that it was just showing me these women in bikinis all the time. So I stopped looking at it. You know what?
So Matan's 100% correct.
Yes, he is.
What you see on Instagram is based on what you look at. So anyway, there's more to it, but the fist bumps for some of those things. Dame Taft, everyone send $2 right now to be hilarious. You know what? I'm so glad you pointed that out, Dame Taft. And we have a voicemail from Dame Taft a little bit later. Dame Taft, who I had the privilege of meeting at Hackamania, and who has given us the idea. If you remember, I mentioned it last week, Easy. We're going to do a show where we don't read any poor chats, only super chats.
Yeah.
It's not this week, obviously, because we had plenty of good ones. But it would be really funny if everybody started just sending us $2 at this point. I see how many of you there are. We would hit our goal if you all sent $2 right now. Hamilton Burger with $10 Canadian, which is more than $5 US as far as I can tell. I'm Christian Blatt, and the only person whose racial politics I like more than Matt Gaetz's are those of his cousin, I assume, and Subway enthusiast Bernard Gaetz. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little bit of an older story if you remember Bernie Gaetz.
I do remember that.
He's big enough that he's in We Didn't Start the Fire. AIDS crack Bernie Gaetz.
He's in a Beastie Boys song too.
See, all right. So you just out Mataned me showing a hipper, cooler reference. Apeshit Media with €3. Giving euros is funnier. That's a great point. If anybody is watching and they can give us denominations like euros or pounds, those are so much funnier than dollars, right? Easy.
Absolutely. We'll take anything, even kroners. OG Mumbling Nick with $2. Thank you so much.
He says, I was told this would be hilarious. You're right. It is hilarious. Now, if everybody else does it, it'll be even funny. Sticky Sock 420 with a $1.99 super sticker. It's so funny that everybody's doing this. Don't you think, Easy?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy how we can sit here and actually all it takes is one guy to give $2 and say, everybody give $2. It'll be hilarious. And this is what we get.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even have to mention Streamlabs, Venmo, Super Chats, memberships, gifted memberships, Rumble Rants. I didn't have to do all that. You guys know how funny it is. That is the audience that we've built here. We've Jensen, congrats, fellas. More viewers than Bob Levy, not cumulatively. And Dr. Scotty Jones says, Bob Levy, I thought he died months ago. I'm a big fan of the Reverend Bob Levy. I'm glad.
I would hope he's not dead. I love Bob Levy.
And in a little bit, I am going to share some clips from Hawk Tuah spoke earlier today on her YouTube. She released a video where she finally addresses the meme coin, and we'll watch that in a little bit. There is a little bit of sports I want to get to, but first, General Ocean Wolf, Tukey World Order, Tukey Taliban, TWO. Hey, yo, TWO for life. Did I make a funny? Yes, you did. And the Tukey World Order and the Tukey Taliban will certainly take over. James Q. Legend. It's terrible news. R.I.P. Bob Levy, except I'm sure he's still alive, but it's still funny. Now it's funny again. All right, let's head over to sports.
Who are these sports? You know what I'm saying? Who are these sports? Let's see who's playing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what's the side.
So in a moment, I am going to introduce us all to what might be the greatest call in the history of sports talk. And I know that that's a very high bar, but I'm very excited for this. But first, from the Jumbotron at a Timberwolves game, here's a guy who didn't know he was on camera.
What's up, y'all? Play those bongos.
So did you see what this guy was up to? So he's sprinkling something on his hand, and he puts it right up to his nose. And boy, it stings when you get to it that first time, doesn't it? So yes, he just did a bump on the Jumbotron.
Yes, during the bongo cam, he taps that out nicely. Oh man.
I wonder how good the snow, as they say, is in Minnesota. I feel like it's probably not the best. Although a lot of great music has come out of there, so maybe I'm wrong. If only Cardiff still lived there, he would know. Now,
JFK.
JFK had
calls the Jumbotron.
The Bumpotron.
The Bumpotron. Thank you.
So Bob Melvin is currently the manager of the San Francisco Giants, which shows what I know. I thought he was still the manager of the Diamondbacks. But in any case, he is speaking after a game that they scratched out 1-0 against the West Sacramento Athletics, formerly of Oakland. But this is a lesson that I teach all the time, Easy. Every mic is a hot mic, but I don't think Bob Melvin gives a shit. And we have some closed captioning to help guide everybody through this.
Live, it's going to start right now.
I'm sorry. So that's right there from the broadcast. He's apologizing that they had to win this game 1-0. He's shaking hands with all the players.
Right now.
I'm sorry. That was
I don't understand why he's apologizing.
I don't know. I was just excited that he said that. Was fucking.
That's great that he did it, but holy shit! I was like, wait, huh?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. So this next clip is from a sports talk station in the Washington, D.C. area. And a gentleman calls in, and he wants to talk about the Commanders, who some of us remember being the Redskins. But woke is not dead because they're the Commanders. And Grant from Grant and Danny understood how great this clip was because Grant posted this. We're gonna spend some time with this clip, but let's see what's going on here.
I wanted to say something about Lattimore. I'll take an injured Lattimore over anyone we had last year, and I thought he kind of got some. Well, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I have a blown gun in my car. I'm a really responsible person.
Okay, so this also would have been good for the WATS game, Name the Sound. Do you know what he just did while he was on the phone? You heard the beeping, and then he made that noise.
Yeah, he was proving that he is not drunk.
Correct. This is the middle of the afternoon. I know somebody who is supposedly returning to streaming next week who would not be able to get his car to start right now. So he says, yeah, I have a blow and go. I make good decisions. So these guys want to know more.
You have a what?
A stun gun? What'd you
I
say?
have a blow and go in my car.
I don't know what that means. Is that a DUI thing?
Yes, it is.
Let it go.
Oh,
yeah, that's why Grant posted it, because he's clearly the smart one here.
dagger.
Oh, dear.
So you have to blow into it, or what happens?
Yeah, you have to blow into it. It goes off at random sometimes. Unfortunately, when I'm on the radio, it goes off.
So if you don't, what happens? Do they come pull you over and assume that you're drunk or something?
No, they add a month to your time.
You're kidding,
dude.
Shit.
And I had no idea that that's how it worked, by the way. So that if it goes off and you don't do it, then they add another month of you having to drive around with this thing.
Fuck, man.
I have never had to deal with this. I've never even known somebody. I've heard of this, but I didn't realize that this was how it worked. And it looks like Grant and Danny are, for the most part, fairly straight-laced guys.
Yeah.
Danny looks eerily like Ben Affleck if he'd made a couple of different career decisions early on. But so they are very interested in what this caller has to say. Oh yeah, like $7.
So wait, what just happened? You just
So they want to know all about what is happening at that point. So
Okay.
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit.
Do they come pull you over and assume that you're drunk or something?
No, they add a month to your time.
You're kidding,
dude.
No
Wait,
way.
Okay, wait. So,
wait, what just happened? You just picked up the little device.
You
and
just
blew into
matched
it?
the sound. You weren't like blowing in anything.
No, he definitely was blowing into something.
He just went.
I like it that this guy's trying to call him out.
Yeah.
Being like, you just went "Ooh," instead of actually blowing into the thing.
The guy Danny's fucking up the bit. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Grant knows what's going on. Which, usually when, especially in a family dynamic, when there's someone named Grant is usually the smarter one than any other siblings that there might be in that household. Right. That's a fact, Jack. I think everybody knows that. If you're still having fun with this, I'm going to let these two try to get more.
I want to hear more.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah. It goes off at random. So, yeah, in an embarrassing fashion, it goes off when I'm on the radio with you guys.
I mean, that is tough. I got to be honest. Like, it's not the best time.
Well,
but I'm on your side here. I mean,
well,
not the previous acts, but right now I'm on.
I do love that. He's like, I'm on your side. Not that you got a DUI, buddy, but I'm on your side now. You're doing the right thing.
I'm on your
we're doing the
side
right
if
thing.
you killed a kid.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah. Back to Lattimore.
I got to be honest. This is way more interesting.
Yeah.
So
I do love that he wanted to get back to his commander's take, and they're like, nope.
No. We want to talk to you more about this shit that you got yourself in.
Yeah, like let's hear more. Let's hear more about where you've gone wrong.
How does this work? So, before you start the car, do you have to do anything or no?
Yeah, you got to blow into it before you start the car.
Okay.
And they have a camera. They have a camera on you in case you were to have somebody else blow into it for you.
No way.
Who's monitoring the camera?
There's like someone on the other end.
Yeah, like it's company, whatever company you choose to go with that has that installed.
But every time you open your car, is someone monitoring it then?
Not every time you open your car. It's when you put your key in the ignition and go to start it up.
But what if nobody, what if it's like trying to get a play reviewed and they're not ready at New York's like MLB headquarters? Like you need to go to work. What if no one's ready to watch you?
It's not a lie. It's a recording. It records it in case. It also benefits you that there's a camera in case somebody steals my car.
Oh, yeah. Now, I hadn't even thought about that. Right. And this does go on a little bit longer, but I did like that at least Grant's like, all right, let's try and steer this back to sports a little bit. Let's talk about the replay room in New York. But how much did you know about these breathalyzer ignition starters? Because I didn't know anything.
I actually knew one person who had to do that, and it was just if it was what he described as in order to get the vehicle to start. But I didn't know about the randos that happen while you're driving.
Yeah. We do like to highlight the broadcast team over, I think it's NBC Sports Philadelphia now. It used to be Comcast. They are the home of the Philadelphia Phillies, and they had a bug, a score bug that was on the screen that this went viral for years. And when the Phillies would play the Pirates, this is the only time that this would happen. It would have the start of the game, would have the P for Pittsburgh, the score of 0, the score of 0 for the Phillies, and then, of course, the P for the Phillies logo, and it would spell out poop. I'm sure you've seen this before.
Yes, I have.
But unfortunately, this year they have adopted a new score bug. So it says Pit Phi now. So it doesn't have these logos anymore. But they knew what this meant to people in the Philadelphia area.
Before we continue with this telecast, we have to address what is on everybody's minds and hearts. July 29th, 2022, our beloved scoreboard first lit up the screens here with Phillies television. It was more than just a scoreboard. It was a legend, an unforgettable icon. Its name, once met with chuckles, quickly became synonymous with good times and fierce rivalries. As the final out arrives on its bright and brilliant run, it will be missed. Gone, but never forgotten.
What I love about Tom McCarthy there is that he's a good enough sport that he reads that, but he's also like, yeah, I'm not saying poop at any time.
No, that's outstanding.
And I think that he should have tossed to his co-host, John Kruk, because Crucky would definitely say, poop, but it is sad that we won't get that in highlights anymore,
No, for sure. It's too bad that somebody overthought it. You need to keep that on there.
Right, exactly. So I was mentioning earlier that Haley Welch, the Hawk Tuah Girl, spoke earlier today. She released a video, and I was not able to clip it in the way I usually clip these things. And I'm going to play it directly off YouTube like a grown-up, the way Carl does. And you're going to see that what Carl does isn't easy, because I am probably going to have some problems with this. But
good.
But first, this could end up being the cringe of the week. We'll see. The one pun: PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Cuck Bucks. Oh, Aaron definitely takes the Cuck Bucks. Thank you, the one pun. You notice how many $2 Super Chats we've gotten since I said it'll be funny if everybody did it.
That is fantastic, by the way.
What would be even funnier is if people did it a second time. But thank you, the one pun. So let's head over to celebrities.
WATV, who are these celebrity news? Who are these celebrity news?
So somebody had something to say to us right there, right, Easy?
Yeah, Robert Levy says, what the fuck am I watching? It's steel toe level. Well, thank you.
Yeah, he's a very successful broadcaster. So
thank you very much for that.
Everybody remembers Haley Welch. She went viral. We showed it on this show. We've showed some of her interviews because, she was interviewed out on, I think it was Beale Street in Nashville, or that's Memphis. I don't know, somewhere in Tennessee. I'm not going to pretend I know.
Mm-hmm.
Zane taught Hawk Tuah everything she knows. Thank you for the $1.99. Chad's missing upper lip. And she, launched in a big way with some big name guests. And then she fell in with some meme coin people. We remember this story, don't we, Easy?
Oh, yeah. Everybody was like, what the hell just happened to my money? Yeah. And then people like me were like, well, if you're stupid enough to give money to her, you deserve to part with your money.
Yeah. There's a part of this that I didn't pull time code for, where she talks about people who invested their kids' college funds in this meme coin because they trusted her. Somebody that none of us knew a year ago. Who's doing that with their savings, and how many savings could you possibly have had at that point? So she likes to share the screen with her friend Chelsea. So Chelsea will ask some of the hard questions.
So why are you just now wanting to address everything?
It's something you definitely want to address, but I couldn't at the time because of all the legal stuff going on. I was in an open investigation going to see the FBI, and then the SEC reached out. And I think somebody else reached out too, but they ended up not wanting anything after everything else was shut down. I don't know. It was very stressful because I couldn't get my point across, and I had to just sit there and let people call me a scammer, a crook, all sorts of different things.
That was stressful.
It was stressful because, I couldn't sit there and defend myself and tell them what happened. I was told not to say nothing.
Yeah.
So, all right. I wanted to give her sort of the newsy part of this. She's like, yeah, I haven't been able to talk about it. There were some attempts to talk about it, but she wasn't able to. By the way, if you ever wanted this girl to look unattractive in a shirt that tight, I think I might have gotten the right freeze frame where
Right.
her eyes are rolling back in her head. But I still would, in case anybody's wondering.
And then and Chelsea there, Dwyer says that's a dude. That was the chick that was seen on the street with.
Yeah, she's like her best friend.
Yeah.
And she's been a part of her show since she launched it. But Chelsea has a follow-up question.
Yeah. So how'd you even get introduced to like the crypto space?
And I'm just going to pause it on Chelsea. Again, I've done way worse, like way worse. I think Chelsea is a Tennessee 6. Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, yes, absolutely. I think that's fair.
She's obviously much too young for me, but that's not the point. I can still, I'm objective and I can quantify. I'm still a talent scout.
I mean, it was just like any other deal that gets brought to you. Like, the deal got brought to my managers a few times by different people. I don't know. I was very hard to persuade at first because I've never heard anything good about the space, like Bitcoin, crypto. I've never heard anything good about it. And I didn't know enough to really get into it, I don't think. But I finally I finally gave in and just done it. It sounded like it.
So there's really abrupt edits in this, and that's always a testament of her show. Is there are always really abrupt edits. Now, so far it hasn't been particularly interesting. I do understand that, but I did want to give her a chance to kind of say her piece. I thought that was important. Easy. So we're learning, but there is a point where her and Chelsea start to talk about. I mean, it wasn't all bad is basically what she's saying, So here they are over here, and let's hear that.
It sounded like it was going to be a great thing.
We were excited for it. There was definitely good moments.
I mean, leading up to it, it definitely had good spots because, I mean, you were promised some money out of it. I was promised money out of it for marketing it, which I think you helped me market it too at one point, did you not?
Yeah, I was the one videoing it and sending all the ads for it.
So, I mean, we were both promised money up front for doing that, just like a spokesperson would for a coin. And then we were also promised money for our charity. We'd have had plenty of money for our charity. I don't know. It sounded like a good idea, but it was not.
So yeah, I think that most of us would have had the sense to go like, hey, this sounds like a bad idea, Easy, and let's not do it. But Haley thought otherwise.
She's still not saying anything though. You know, it's just kind of she's dancing around it for some reason. I still don't think that she can actually say anything, but she, for whatever reason, is back. This comment about Chelsea, and Zen says she looks like Jacqueline Smith with fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. JFK Headchunk indicates that she just implicated her friend. Is this a closed investigation now? Is that? I mean, I don't think that this has gone away.
I think she's been cleared, which is why she can talk about it. And she can't name the people she got in business with because that's still open and she doesn't want to say anything liable. There is somebody off camera who is, they do look to a few times and it's like, oh, how do we say that? So they'll say things like, oh, in the building that we were in. And again, there are some of those really abrupt edits. But I want to, before we get to the really fun stuff, I want to get to the point. And Super Chat are excited about this, or do they hate her? I want to know. I would say the poor chat is what I meant to ask.
Her charity is getting kids to feed starving bears.
Oh, I wish.
Chad's missing upper lip says, how do these dopes have a charity? Charity like woke dad does? I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, she might have an art studio somewhere that. I'm sorry I co-signed a scam and you lost money. Yeah, not White Dabbler. You're getting it now. Absolutely. All right, so let's hear what she has to say on this. Oh yeah,
and then if you want to.
That's
my
on,
Twitter was
that's
dedicated
on me.
to crypto.
Yeah. That is definitely on me.
Bullet points like what to read off and what kind of videos he needed because he ran my Twitter, and Twitter is just like a place where you can literally type something out and post it if you want to. My Twitter was dedicated to crypto.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't have anything
and you never
to do
even
with me.
used Twitter before.
I don't have it downloaded on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use Twitter. The only ones I ever see is like on TikTok and like you're scrolling through there and you see some out of pocket shit Kanye says. That's the only thing I ever see about Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know how any of that works either.
Was any of this surprising you that not only do they not know how investment in a crypto coin works, they also don't know how Twitter works?
No, and they're intensely boring.
Yes.
There's nothing going on there.
Right.
Wow. I thought our show sounded like that, or maybe ours does sound like that. We can't be that bad, can we?
No, I don't think we're as bad as them because we're not smart, but we're also like, I don't know, not idiots, right? Unfortunately, Haley and Chelsea are going to pretty much reveal themselves as dum-dums, and proud of it, I think is really, who they are. And look, that's that generation. I think they're proud to be stupid.
Works either.
Do you remember when we went to the Bitcoin conference too?
Yes.
And they told us like they were a really tight community.
Mm-hmm.
We sat there for how long? It was a few hours.
For hours, yeah. We
And
met a
we-
lot of people, but
I couldn't tell you what any of them
I didn't
do.
understand any of it at all.
The only thing I remember about that day, some guy handed me like a printout coin. Do you remember that? And you're supposed to scan those.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I got one of those. That's the only thing I could tell you about that whole day.
So a second ago when Chelsea said, "Oh yeah," do you think she remembered what she was talking about?
Probably
That's one of
not.
those "oh yeahs" I give my kid.
Wow.
When he's telling me some of the minutia about Minecraft and there's a new thing that's coming out. And he's like, "You remember the last update?" Oh yeah, I absolutely do. And I don't know, who do you think's dumber, Haley or Chelsea? Let's ask the chat. But EZ, do you have a hunch that maybe Chelsea must be a little bit smarter because she's less hot?
No, I think Chelsea's dumber.
Oh,
I really do. I don't know
that's a
why.
hot take.
I think because Haley can actually speak and sound okay. She's not smart, but she sounds somewhat like she's trying to be, almost like she can fake it enough for a few minutes at a time. Plus, she's more outgoing and bubbly, and I think that actually masks the retardation.
Yeah, right, exactly. One of the things that she goes on to talk about is how I guess it's come out before that Haley lives with her granny, with her grandma.
Okay.
And the FBI came to Granny's house. And this is one of the rare funny moments. And I know I'm not doing my part to sell this as being funny, considering what's come before has been like paint dry. But I feel like people are interested in this. So let's hear about Granny. Oh yeah, I didn't share it, did I?
Damn it!
You were just gonna let me think that I was playing it.
Well,
See, that's what I said. That's what I said.
I was like, wait a minute, huh?
Yeah, that's why I said like Carl might make this look easy, but
okay, I see.
This is the problem that this just happened right before we went on, and I
Okay.
was like, oh, I can handle this. I can't.
Cleared. I wasn't named on the lawsuit.
Yeah,
None of that. So
All right,
like
then we
legally,
gotta-
I
you
was
hear
not
about
in
Granny.
any trouble because I didn't do anything, and I have proof that I didn't do anything.
How'd you feel when they showed up to Granny's door?
Oh, well, it was a little bit of mixed of emotions. And the one guy, when I went and met with him, I was like, "Are you the one that was at my door and talked to my granny?" He's like, "Yeah." Granny wanted him to handcuff her.
I was about to say, I just know she was flirting with him.
She called me back afterward, and she was like, "That one was cute." I was
Oh
like,
my
"Granny,
gosh.
stop." I don't know. It was scary.
So
yeah, well, that's the thing about these Welches. They'll suck cock. There's no question.
And I feel like Granny's open for business. And,
Right.
I think the FBI should have really known about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's one other figure from sort of the expanded universe of Haley Welch. So she talks about her boyfriend. She refers to him as Pookie, and I think she had him on the show. And I'm sorry, there's nothing worse than being called Pookie in front of people. I feel like I would expect a Tennessee man to not stand for that. But he got roped into this. Let's hear what happened to Pookie.
I made Pookie put some money in on it. He lost $300 and also went around work promoting it. So all the people he worked with were pissed off at him
Did people
too.
from his work also?
Yeah, they also lost money, and they go up to Katie at work and be like, "Yeah, your girlfriend's a fucking bitch."
But it's not your fault.
Oh, they didn't know that.
Did he
at the
stick up
time.
for you, and did he tell people that?
Well, I thought he was going to hit one man and get fired, but I guess he kept it together.
So
I have a
yeah,
quick
go ahead.
question.
Yes,
so
sir.
when I don't know if the dust has settled on this, like she said, it's not settled with the people who got her to do this. But so she wound up with no money.
Right. So she only ever got paid for the publicity for it. And I guess she wasn't actually going to make money. It sounds like a really bad deal. By the way, this video is only 20 minutes. I've tried to find the moments that might be interesting to anyone. I'm trying to save you the 20 minutes by really putting like 8 minutes of our time into it.
Okay.
And Easy, having not seen it already, do you feel like she's doing a good job, or is it as simple as anybody dumb enough to invest in her meme coin?
No, because she's wasting everybody's time by talking to this other ditz. She should just look at the camera and say, okay, here's what's going on. This is what I can tell you. It's about time that I address this. I couldn't, then that's taken care of. And then just talk. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's trying to establish some type of, big numbers like we get on this show.
Right, exactly.
In the 20 minutes that she's doing it.
Right. Well, we'll close on this moment.
Someone ever presents me another idea about anything crypto related, Bitcoin, I'll probably smack them in the face. Absolutely not. Or if I even, I don't know, consider the idea, smack the shit out of me. Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Sign me up for that job. Chelsea, if you feel like she's your best friend and you're not prepared to smack the shit out of her, me and EZ, we'll get on a plane to Tennessee and do our part. Right? I mean, we'd be helping the community, wouldn't we, Eric?
I'm curious about what she made for her promotion.
She never discloses a dollar amount.
Right.
It's probably decent enough, but not as much money as she wanted to give her charity, as she wanted to say. I feel like the video does answer any questions that everybody has. But if you did invest in it, one of the things she says that it looked like people lost millions of dollars, but it was really only a few $100,000. I'm like, all right, that's still a lot of money for anybody dumb enough to buy this thing.
Yeah, I do not feel bad for those people.
No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, look, when we have the WATB coin, obviously everybody can trust these faces. It's going to look just like our logo right there. It's going to that's going to be a virtual coin of that. Let us know in the chat if you would buy a WATB coin.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to wind things down in a moment. But to do that, we have to do a quick drive-by over to politics.
Who are these politics? Who are these politics?
We've talked about how there's one trusted name in news left in all of Washington, D.C.
Ah, yes.
There's only one person that we can count on to get the answers to questions that we want the answers to, Easy. And that's our buddy, Peter Doocy.
Without a doubt.
He is there on the front lines in the White House briefing room asking Carolyn Levitt the questions that we definitely want the answer to. I don't know if we get the answer, but let's hear the question.
What does President Trump mean when he says that Taylor Swift is no longer hot?
Look, he is speaking about Taylor Swift's political views and how perhaps it has impacted the support of the American public for her work, and I will leave it at that.
Wow, she couldn't. That's the cutest she's looked, by the way. I mean, she's always pretty cute.
It's because you can't see her dumper right there.
I didn't know that. I think you might have addressed that.
That's
not a big dumper.
Yeah, but I think that she does look nice here. At what point in her career do you think she bought those teeth, though?
I was gonna say they're pretty. It looks like they look fresh. They look fresh.
We do need to ask an important question.
Extraterrestrials, strange phenomena, missing persons, lost continents, myths, and monsters. We examine these mysteries to determine, are they bullshit or not?
Is that what Trump meant? That he was talking about she's no longer hot career-wise, the woman who made multiple billions of dollars on her last tour? Is that what he meant?
No. He's talking about her how she looks.
Yeah,
I think Taylor Swift's attractive, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, in a Travis Kelce kind of way, sure. I think, I think that I can see the appeal. I think, you get that physical specimen and then she's going to be acting like Taylor Swift all day. That's probably, you're really signing up for something. I don't think that, our buddy Husey has said about her that she doesn't have much of a fart box.
Well,
Husey does cut to the chase on all the hard-hitting issues, Easy.
Well, Trump, the first thing he ever does is always comments on appearance. Okay.
Yes.
Like the other day, he posted, he called Bruce Springsteen a prune. I mean, you got to understand that is A1 in the playbook.
Yeah.
Fat ass, old, ugly, skin like a prune. I mean, that's the opening salvo.
Yeah.
And that is Trump 101 playbook.
Yeah. I want to showcase Pope Leo met a distinguished guest. This is our new Pope.
Oh, okay.
And here he goes.
Oh, the accomplice.
He's shaking hands with J.D. Vance and Usha Vance. So unfortunately, I have to break the news. R.I.P. Pope Leo.
Yeah, right.
Seconds after shaking hands with J.D. Vance, it was all over.
In that there, you couldn't see it, but some lip readers said Leo said, "Thank you for killing the last guy.
Thanks for my job.
Thank you for my job, boss.
Yeah.
Thank you."
Well, I think if we're gonna go home, we should go home big with a great moment in broadcast history.
BTB, who are these broadcast history? Who are these broadcast history?
You know what I always say on this show, Easy, and I do. It's part of my sign off every episode. Every mic is a hot mic. And shout out to our buddy Ryan Rebalkin from the Worst of the Best podcast and the podcast where he goes through Michael Mann's work. I'm sorry, I forget the name of your show. But everybody, Ryan Rebalkin's a great contributor to the WATP verse.
Wait, he goes through Michael Mann's? Is that the TV guy?
Well, yeah, but he also did some movies, including Heat. And I reviewed Manhunter on there, the first attempt at a Hannibal Lecter movie. And the fourth best telling of that story, but that is neither here nor there. So he sent me this. There's one of those media tours where you sit in a room and then they pipe in some local affiliates from around the country and then you talk to them and then somebody else comes in. And this is from an earlier era of this. This is at least 20 years ago because it's standard def. And on the media tour is the beloved Tony Danza from Who's the Boss and Taxi and other shows where he also played a character named Tony. True fact. He always plays characters named Tony, probably because he doesn't answer to anything else. So let's see how Tony feels about this media tour.
I'm telling you, I just realized it because I'm hearing the news show in the background. You know, you always think that you're doing those good morning shows, but this is one of those news shows. Kim, I'm telling you, this is crazy. I don't want to do this.
Tony.
I'm going to be part of the local news. How exciting.
Tony Danza.
So kudos to the local anchor, just trying to get his attention. She's there with her. Well, the other reason you know this is old. I mean, how about that haircut? All right. I mean, yeah. And Tony hasn't looked like this in a long time. So she's just trying to get his attention. But he clearly doesn't hear what's going on.
You never know when people are listening to what you're saying, Tony.
That's what I say. God. Every mic's a hot mic. So this lady's on my team. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take back what I said about your shitty haircut.
Because she sits back.
You know, right after Murder and Mayhem and the rescue in California, Tony Danza. I'm so excited.
Okay,
so anyway.
Tony, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we're going to start the interview now. No murder and mayhem, just the interview about your movie. You ready?
All right, fine. Oh, you heard me, huh?
Oh, every bit of it.
Oh, so there's more, but I love that moment because that's what she was waiting for. She's like, I'm just going to point out to him how stupid he is.
Oh, every bit of it. He goes,
every bit of it.
That realization. Oh, you heard of it. His features soften right away. He's like,
oh. He's like, uh-oh.
Good.
Joining us now is Tony Danza. You know him from Taxi.
Don't you feel a little bit like that's what you do? I mean, not for nothing. It's not just me who thinks that, by the way. Go ahead. All right.
Well, you know, it's how I make my living, so, you know.
No, listen, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying you can't, just don't deny it. You know, please. I don't care. You should make a living. I think that's fine.
Okay. Let's talk about...
Oh,
what an asshole.
Yeah, he's like,
you know, that whole I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I love everybody. Fuck you. What an asshole.
I had an on the phone incident with Tony Danza once where he called back after an interview. It was one of these, it was a radio tour, that's where his career was at that point. He wasn't on TV and in movies anymore. So it was one of those radio tours. And apparently he didn't like the way it had gone because he called back on the hotline just to say that if he ever saw the host, he would I'm trying to think of how to put it. He would knock his block off, let's just say. So he wanted to kick the ass.
Get one of these where you sneeze.
Yeah, and so I can't think of Tony Danza without that. You know what I mean?
Was that when you were with Dennis?
That may or may not have been that. That may or may not be the person who.
I love how guarded you are.
For a bruising.
I'm gonna punch him right in the kisser. There, Dennis.
I wish, I could get the audio of the interview. That's not the fun part. I wish I had the audio of when he called back.
Right.
I think that's what we really need.
We can't do anything about Tony Danza without referencing when Anthony would do that bit with people on the street. How about I fuck you in the ass? Oh my God. And then she gives the phone to E-Rock or whoever the fuck and says, he's being nasty. Have you not heard that?
I actually don't know that much about that. My O&A history comes a little bit later. I need to find this. This sounds great.
50 people outside to get into the theater for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Someone go up because Anthony does the Danza impression very well.
Yeah, of course.
And says, hey, welcome to the show. Tony wants to talk to you. And he's like, hey, how are you? Welcome in. So glad you're here. And then he starts to flirt, and then it ends with, and then I'm going to fuck you in the
ass. I love that. I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Maybe you had to be there. I thought it was
no. I certainly have to check that out. So what I want to let everybody know is you can go to whoarethese.com and you can find the voicemail number. And we always accept your voicemails the old-fashioned way. We appreciate that at all times. Thank you for doing that. Or you can email them to me, blatcast@gmail.com. And if you want to wish Eric Zane happy Memorial Day, Eric@ericzaneshow.com, because I forgot to acknowledge what your on-screen description said. By the way, I think Memorial Day is Monday, isn't it? So Easy will be at work that day. He'll be doing the Eric Zane show on Monday.
No, I got the day off. I talked to the boss. I got
you got that day off. Well, I do have a voicemail that was indeed sent to us at that email. And again, it comes from our friend Dame Taft.
Hey, WATB, you guys are doing a great job. You deserve a larger audience. And I think what you need is a new slogan.
All right, I'm listening.
And I have one for you. Okay? Watch WATB. It'll make you chortle. Right? And that's not an idle boast, too, because when I watch the show, I find myself chortling. In fact, I can't think of a single time that I watched an episode and did not chortle. And who among us does not appreciate a good chortle, right? That's a good selling point. I can think of a number of people who could use a good chortle. People are so wound up and uptight these days. It's like, hey, buddy, relax. You know what you need? You know what you need is a good chortle. Watch WATB. It'll make you chortle.
So
hey, remember when I sent
giggle,
you,
but less than a laugh, right?
Yeah, it's not a guffaw. Hey, remember when I sent you? I texted you a picture of me and Dame Taft at Hackamania. Do you remember what you said?
He looks like a serial killer.
Yeah. Does he sound more or less like a serial killer?
Less. He sounds less. He sounds excellent, actually. I would say he sounds perfect.
So I know I was wrapping up the show, but Chad's Missing Upper Lip just sent me some of Anthony as Tony Danza. Do you have a minute or two, Easy?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I figured for that you absolutely might. And so I'll be hearing this for the first time. This is another great moment in broadcast history, inspired by our previous great moment in broadcast history. And whenever I see the photos of those guys, it's always shocking how little they look like either Anthony or Opie, even 10 years ago, but especially now. All right. So we're not going to play too much of this because this video is 18 minutes. But since Easy was talking about it, we wanted to give everybody in the audience some fun here.
Since I've heard this, I might tell you.
Oh, what's up, buddy? What do you got?
Like,
I got.
What's that? You want to skip ahead?
No, it's good.
Okay. All right. So let's hear what the caller said.
Deborah in the Tony Danza line.
Oh, is she a big Tony Danza fan?
Huge fan.
All right. Is she a fatty?
I'm sorry?
Is she a fatty?
Norden?
Not really.
Okay. All right. We'll talk to her.
All right. Here you go.
Hello.
Hello, Deborah.
Hi.
Hi, it's Tony Danza, Deborah.
Hi, how are you, Tony?
Real good. I hear you waiting to get in on my show.
I can't wait.
You can't wait, huh?
I'm here with my little friend Leslie, and it's her birthday today.
Leslie, how old is she today?
Oh, I don't think she wants me to tell you that.
Oh, come on.
How old are you today, Leslie? She said 39.
39.
You be the judge.
Hey, happy birthday, huh? Happy birthday. Hey, my thoughts and prayers are with her on this fine birthday for her.
Tony, you know who I thought you should have been for Halloween?
Who?
I thought you should have been Sammy Davis because I watched the tape when you did the tribute to Sammy Davis. Remember your tap dance?
Oh, of course. I love hoofing like Sammy.
I know, but I thought you should have been him for Halloween.
Well, I went with the Spider-Man. Did you see?
I didn't like that.
I didn't like it either. I needed an apron to cover that up. You know what I'm talking about, huh?
I know what you're talking about.
Hey, Tony Danza junk hanging out all over the place.
No, that was not for anybody to see.
No, not for public consumption, huh?
No, I don't like those outfits.
Needed a dressing room just for my car.
I didn't hear you. A bus just went by.
Yeah, the bus went by. Good thing, huh? So what do you like about my show?
I think you're very real. I think you're very fresh. I think you're just...
Wait till you see how fresh I can be.
Oh, no. I think you're very wonderful. You're gracious to your guests.
We are gonna... Do you know where you're sitting for the audience?
No, I don't. But we have VIP tickets, so I don't know what that means. My husband's friend got them for us.
Well, let me tell you what that means. You are going to be in the front row, and I'm going to come over during the show and talk to you.
Okay.
You're going to be on. You're going to be on television, and I'm going to, talk a little bit about the news, maybe the election. Who'd you vote for?
I didn't vote yet. I'm voting after I leave you.
And who are you going to vote for?
I'm not quite sure.
How about vote for Tony? All right.
Yeah. Okay. Would I be able to get a picture with you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I actually want to pull my mule out, put it on your shoulder, and take a picture like that.
Pull your what out?
My mule.
A mule?
A mule. You know how I ride up on different things every time?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have a mule. A big mule right in your face. My mule.
You know what I would rather you do when you open the show? I'd rather you open it up with a song.
Oh, you like when I sing?
I think you should do what you do best.
And what's that? I have no clue.
When we were at Regis, I bought my CD in, and you said being I was the only person that had your CD in the audience, you came over and you signed it. And I think that's how you should open the show, rather than do the silly stuff.
Oh, you don't like the silly stuff?
No, I like that you
feel like it just turned
when
easy.
you came in on the garbage truck.
Hey, well, thoughts and prayers,
Right. I like everything that's like sentimental and everything.
Yeah, sentimental, like my mule.
Like the stilts, you made me very nervous.
Oh, you didn't like the stilts? It was kind of dangerous, wasn't it?
No, because...
Danger is my middle name.
Yeah, well, you have to be careful.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, I'm so happy that you're coming on the show.
I am too.
Could you describe yourself so I know what you look like when I walk up to you?
Okay, I have blonde hair, brown eyes.
Okay.
I have on
Angela.
I have on like an Argyle sweater, black with different colors in it.
Yeah.
And I have my friend Leslie with me, and she has short blonde hair.
Well, what do you look like as far your body wise, so I could distinguish you from other blondes?
Oh, I'm pretty good.
Oh, you're hot, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Hey,
I have to hang up.
how would you like to go out with me tonight?
I would love to.
You want to go out with Tony?
I would love
Tony and my mule.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Do you take it up the ass?
Goodbye.
Hey, Deborah. Deborah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Enjoy the show. Hello?
I mean, that was amazing. I know that I had to wait a little bit for it, but I was wondering what era it was. And then when he said cock, I'm like, okay, so this is on satellite, because if that's on regular radio, it's a little harder to do. That's amazing. I've got another like 17 minutes to listen to of that, easy, and I can't wait.
God. Fucking, do you take it up the ass?
I gotta go, Tony.
Damn.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then he wanted to punch somebody in the face. So this has really been a Tony Danza appreciation episode. Everybody's going to remember WATB episode 94 as the episode that saluted Tony Danza. It'll also be the episode where Eric Zane got to promote his show. Let everybody know where they can find it.
If you're on Twitch, just at Eric Zane Live, do the show daily. And put my name into the podcast platforms that you prefer, and I'm everywhere. That's it.
And my personal podcast, The Blackcast, BLADTCAST. You can see the full interview that I had with Nick Greystone of the Primal Scream podcast. And yes, he does talk about meeting Stuttering John at ChillerCon, driving home with him and getting him to do his podcast, and insulting him by calling him a member of the Whack Pack. So that's the guy that you've seen, the guy in the car.
Nick 50 Stone? Is that
No, Nick Greystone. He's my new friend, and I believe he's going to have me on his show.
Oh, that's good.
And there have been a few shows that have shown it, but we appreciate Carl being very nice to us when he shared the clips for that. We will be back next week, and I went through all the super chats to make sure that we got to the last one. And because Chad's missing upper lip shared that Kumia video with us so quickly, he did point out that you taught Hawk Tuah everything she knows. Zane, have you ever tried spitting on that thing? You know, your thing that doesn't work, your mule? Have you ever thought about that?
Once in a while, I'll have a gay dream. And so I think I'm 8% gay, frankly.
Oh, only 8. Chad's missing upper lip is going to be very disappointed. As I said, we will be back next Tuesday. And as Tony Danza learned, every mic is a hot mic. But I'm Christian Blatt, and the only person whose racial politics I like more than Matt Gaetz's are those of his cousin, I assume, and Subway enthusiast Bernard Gaetz.